Thanks very much. Thanks to It's Nice That for having me here. When I got the email asking me to do this, it came in at the same time as 2 funding rejections, so extra thanks for giving me some hope in my life, for my career. So yeah, I'm Duncan, I'm a filmmaker. I went to Edinburgh College of Art, where I studied documentary directing specifically, and I still work in Edinburgh. That's me in my studio there, where I spend most of my days when I'm not out filming. I'm in there editing, writing emails, funding applications that get rejected. When I'm out filming, it can look a bit like this. That's me filming a man and his dog, doing interviews, or it could look like this, where I'm trying to find people to talk to, and there's none. Or on a boat somewhere in the North Sea the other week there, at 3 in the morning, filming a sunrise, which was good. Or sometimes just doing like a corporate video or whatever. That's like some stuff that I do as well. Try to keep a plant up with whatever I can find for the background of the shot. It's very glamorous stuff. So yeah, but most of my flagship work centers around kind of personal things or things that are close to me. So one of my more known films would be about my mum talking about a lamp, where she just came into my room talking about a lamp for 4 minutes, and I was filming a different film, which wasn't very good. But this happened while I was filming that other film, and this did a lot better than the other film, or any of my films, actually. Yeah, it got about 350,000 views overnight, which was a bit mad. Me and my mum were in the newspapers, and we went around film festivals and things, which was yeah, it was great. And it kind of set me off on a bit of a path of filming my family. So I made my graduation film about my dad, filmed all his family. One of my first commissions was about my granddad. That's in there, Tweedy. And then once I'd filmed all my family, I then moved on and filmed my mate's family. So that's my mate's gran, not mine. Should be clear. But anyway, I'm skipping over all that, and I'm going to talk a bit about one of my more recent films, Taking Stock, which was a film that also kind of came about by accident. It was a sort of Channel 4 random acts short, and I'm just going to show a quick clip before talking.
All right. Filming a bit of stock footage, you know, because filmmaking's not earning me much money at the moment, so just yeah, thought I'd try and film this fish and sell it online. You know, but it's good on the whole. I do enjoy, you know, filmmaking. It's not, you know, there's no problems. It's just a fun activity. It's a great activity. It's good. You know, there's no problems with it. I filmed this crowd out of focus to make it look like news footage. Then I filmed this field of wheat to make maybe, you know, like cereal advert or like harvest or something, I don't know. And then this Edinburgh Castle, you know, tourist board. And it's been really fun, really fun filming them. Nah, the reality's not been that exciting.
Yeah, so this film, similar to my mum just kind of coming in my room with a lamp, I was genuinely, this was a few years later, last year, I was trying to actually make some money from stock footage. I thought, like, I had this gap between work, and I thought, you know, I'll just film stock footage, and I'd seen online that you could kind of like make money as a side income and maybe get a pension on the go and things like that. I sort of thought I'd cracked the secret, if you know what I mean. And but after 6 months, I'd only really sold this one clip of a frog. So I'd pretty much given up, but the problem was I'd told all my mates really excitedly about how I was going to make all this money, and they found it hilarious that I wasn't earning any money from it. And sort of mid-humiliation, I thought, oh, like maybe I could maybe if they find it funny, other people will find it funny, and I could turn it into like a film. So I did what I kind of always do with new ideas and jotted it down on my iPhone. So that's the original thing that kind of I typed out, which is pretty similar to how the film actually turned out. There was a couple of spelling mistakes in there, so it genuinely is unedited since I typed it out. And then that turned into a 3-page proposal, and then I sent it off and got got it commissioned, and then I was delighted because I'd managed to channel my failure into something actually positive, which I was really pleased about. And in terms of actually making the film, I'd already shot it, which was great. So it was really just looking for the clips that I'd shot that actually had a deeper context or a deeper meaning within them. So this one of my mum, again, slightly obsessed. That obviously tells the story when you realise it's my mum, that I'm still living at home in that shot from my bedroom, and it kind of gives you an image behind it, similar to this one of me being down at the beach, throwing rocks into the water, trying to get it to land in the middle of the frame. They sort of give you this ridiculous image in your head, so it was finding them and carving a narrative out of them as best I could, and then I kind of had a rough script, and then also improvised a little bit and sort of rambled through the script, and then kind of improvised and sort of hoped that something sort of decent came out, a little bit like what I'm doing just now, to be honest with you. And I recorded it all under my bed covers, which is that's what it looks like. That's when you're recording under your bed covers. So yeah, it's ridiculous, and but it's good sound quality. You get it's much cheaper than getting a studio, and it's got a really nice sound to it. And I've done a couple of things for Radio 4 under there as well, and there was no complaints about the sound quality, at least. This is the end. This is kind of the end of the film. I wanted to do something where it bounced out, similar to what I just did by showing you the me under my bed covers. I wanted to, at the end of the film, do that kind of shot out and show you how ridiculous I looked or felt when I was filming, and how depressing it was. So this is the last shot, and I pretty much had that in my head as what I was going to film, but since I was going to the aquarium and spending 20 quid getting in, I thought I might as well experiment with some different shots. So I've got some alternative angles. So that one wasn't quite bleak enough for me, although I did quite like the way the fish was just sort of creeping in from the side. That one was too close, obviously. GoPro, that was too wide. You was getting other people in that I didn't have permission for. That one was too dark. It was a different camera. I brought a few along, so I didn't know what. A few kicking about that I could use, so I brought them along, and that one wasn't very good, although it was actually a better camera than the one that I used in the end. But anyway, so yeah, that's the one I used. What am I saying now? Last shot. Yeah, so, and then at the end of that, I wanted to then bounce out again and actually have a kind of call to action to the audience, which I thought would be quite fun. So I did this and set up that's a real email address that I set up, and kind of hoped secretly that someone would email it. I was breaching Channel 4 guidelines, so they actually took it out of the broadcast version, but it's on all the online versions. And yeah, one man actually emailed me and wanted to buy one of my clips. I was really happy about that, except he wanted to buy the last shot of me filming. Which was a bit weird, but 50 quid's 50 quid, so I wrote him up a little agreement and sent him over the clip, and yeah, God knows where it's going to turn up, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm a big believer in kind of sort of whatever you feel inside, sort of listening to what you feel inside and sort of making the right project at the right time. I couldn't have planned taking stock. I couldn't have planned that. It just kind of happened, like life just sort of happened, and then I kind of responded to it, similar to my mum and the lamp. I couldn't have scripted it. It just kind of happened, and I then turned it into a film. And you can't always plan with these things. You just have to, go with the flow and sort of respond creatively. And for me, I just wanted to point out the kind of ridiculousness of freelance life and feeling a bit lonely as a freelancer, the embarrassment of living at home, having not much money, and seeing my friends and all that sort of with their real jobs and things, kind of buying houses. I mean, literally, there's a girl in my street from my high school who's actually bought a house right up this road from my parents' house where I'm staying, with personalised number plate and everything. So it's really sort of like I wanted to use that kind of frustration I felt inside, I suppose, and put it into a film. And I think that's what is one of the most important things about making films or making any kind of creative work, is that understanding the deep motivation kind of within you. And that seems to be the stuff that does better from what I make, is the things that I'm really actually feeling, and they're really kind of in me and important. And I had no idea that people were going to find it as relatable. I presumed when you're stuck inside your own head, you kind of think that you're the only one that, well, you are the only one there, but you presume that no one else is going to think kind of the same way as you. And so it was a real weird thing for me putting that film out there and realizing that other people also felt ridiculous being a freelancer, or had the exact same experience filming stock footage, which was surprising. I thought, I didn't, and some people even found it moving. I thought, I was amazed that people found it moving, because I had no idea that people were going to actually find it emotional. Anyway, so yeah, and it led to Ted got in touch. I had no idea all these positive outcomes were going to come. Ted got in touch and commissioned me to do a film about kind of your work, feeling like your work's not good enough all the time, kind of that pressure from your peers or industry that is maybe there or maybe isn't there, but you're kind of in your head again, overthinking it. And just in general, there's been a decent amount of more trying to speak this. I knew it was going to fall apart towards the end. A decent amount more interest in my work than there was before. So it's been so all that kind of, yeah. I'm just rambling now, but yeah. So people like It's Nice that got in touch as well about the stock thing that you watched there, which is great. And yeah, people looking for someone with a kind of miserable sense of humor generally have been getting in touch with me and getting me to do work, which has been quite nice. And yeah, also the aquarium from the film, which I didn't expect, because I didn't really get permission to film in there properly. So I was a bit worried when it went out on TV that they might not be overly chuffed. But it turns out the guy who owns the aquarium was watching Channel 4 at midnight when the film played, and recognised his fish on the TV. And so I was panicking when I got an email from them the next day, but it was fine. They just wanted me to film some fish for them, for their Facebook and for their Twitter and stuff. So I was back there a couple of times this year filming, again, the same fish, but for them this time paid. So you never know what's going to happen. And that's kind of my big takeaway as well, is sort of, you don't know what's going to happen. You have to go with the flow of life, dig deep into your heart and soul as a creative, be honest, put it out there, say what you're feeling through your work, even if it feels ridiculous. You're very likely not the only person that feels that way. And especially if you're a freelancer working alone, just know that there's a lot of us that have been there or are still there, and yeah, stay strong. So yeah, thanks very much. And if you want to see any more of my stuff, it's there. Well, you can find anything I'm doing on my website or my Vimeo, or watch all the films that I mentioned earlier, and yeah, and new stuff. There'll be new stuff at some point as well. Right, I will stop now. Thanks very much for listening.